Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Quotable Podcast. We've got another good one lined up for you. All you old-timey folks that enjoy movies from the 90s.
Yep.
One of our favorite Robin Williams flicks.
Yeah, this is the first flick where I kind of had a crush on the daughter.
Oh,
she was
yeah?
like a very young Sandra Bullock.
She does kind of look like Sandra Bullock a little bit.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she was also in Independence Day later on, I believe.
She was.
All right, well, without further ado, we're going to talk about Mrs. Doubtfire, everybody. Now, I know we talked about Mrs. Doubtfire in our Robin Williams appreciation episode,
Yes.
but we didn't go into, like, vast detail or anything like that.
No, we didn't, because I think that you and I kind of knew that this one here was coming up.
Yeah.
We knew that, I mean, a man of Robin Williams' stature needs to be celebrated.
Agreed.
May he rest.
May he rest. Yeah, and with all the celebrities that have been passing recently, it's kind of hard to keep track of like how long it's been.
I know.
I was talking to a friend the other day, and the subject of like Michael Jackson's passing, and it's like 2009. Like I can't believe how long it's been.
It's crazy.
So,
and that's one of those things. Like I remember when that happened, the guy that I worked with at the time was like, "Dude, this is one of those moments.
mm-hmm.
Like this is." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "People are gonna sit there and be like, where were you the day Michael Jackson died?" And I'm like, oh, "Whoa."
I was working.
I was working too. I was in a Verizon wireless store.
Yeah, I worked at the Walgreens on Platt Street in Tampa, Florida.
Platt Street.
Yeah, which
Takes
is
me back.
right up the street from the University of Tampa. Oh my God!
I know. Take me
Yes.
back, baby.
You should have seen the customers in that store.
Ooh,
Hey-o!
There's a hot lead.
I'm very aroused.
That's what she said.
But I mean, I digress. We have to get back to Euphegenia. I can't remember how she said her first name.
I want to say Euphegenia Doubtfire.
Yeah, it is something weird.
Yeah, it was either Euphegenia or Euphegenia. It's something like that.
Yeah,
And the fact that, like, where did he even get this name? I know he got the last name from looking at the newspaper.
Yeah.
Because it was like a clip about like police Doubtfire something.
Yeah.
And the Doubtfire. Yes, I don't know why I did Stewie's voice just then. Yes, any British character moving forward is just going to be Stewie.
Yeah, it's Stewie. That's it. That's all we get.
Worth it. And I just did the token mic hit twice.
Sweet.
So it's the pressure's off for you then.
Thank God.
All right. So before we started recording, I mentioned to you that I didn't want to tell you my favorite scene from this movie.
I know. I'm waiting with bated breath. I'm on the
Yes.
edge of my seat.
Okay. Well, you're sitting back pretty far, but
Yeah, I know.
semantics.
It's because I got a fat ass.
You don't have a fat ass. Nobody told you to wear a skirt anyway. Okay, so in the scene where Daniel Hillard goes to his brothers to get the makeup, the prosthetics, whatever it took to make him look like a woman.
Yeah, it's like when he knocks on the door and his brother answers. He's like, "I need you to make me a woman." He's like, "Oh, darling,
It's like, oh, it's about
it's
time.
about time. Get inside."
And for those of you folks who are, around our generation, you'll recognize the actor, even if you don't know his name.
Also from Independence Day, I believe.
He was, and from Independence Day. Same raspy voice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, darling, we're gonna make you into the belle of the ball.
So it's funny that they went through this entire process, which, it made for a great scene.
It did.
Where they go through the different makeups and wigs and all this stuff. But the voice that he used so he basically rigged the thing. For those of you, if it's been a while since you've seen Mrs. Doubtfire.
It had been a while for me.
Daniel Daniel's going through a divorce. They had a
Yes.
custody hearing, and he's basically allotted like 1 day a week to see his children, but it's supervised.
No. At first, it's not supervised.
That's
At
okay.
first, he just gets because the wife is awarded full custody because she's the one with the steady
That's
job,
right. At first, it was
and
not. You're right.
He
You're
doesn't
right.
have a place to live.
He doesn't have a steady home, a steady job, anything like that.
So he
but-
needs to find all this steadiness.
So his wife, Miranda, played by Sally Field, she has to put out an ad for a housekeeper, basically, because she's working and she can't be home for the kids, like when they get home from school.
Right. When they get off the bus and everything. And
So she wanted to make sure that somebody was there to make sure, the house is clean, they can get dinner started, the kids, make sure the kids are doing their homework and all that stuff.
Right.
And, so Daniel takes it upon himself to change the phone number on the ad that she puts out, which I don't know how she didn't notice.
probably because she didn't proofread.
Yeah, probably not. Nobody would mess with this.
Yeah.
I wrote the number down myself.
Why would someone change it?
So so he changed it so he would be the only one that would be calling the number
Yes.
in response to this ad, and putting on the different characters and everything. But when he finally lands, and we can touch on that part later because that's a funny scene in itself. But when he lands on his final character that he's going to portray to be the housekeeper, he must have had an idea in his mind of what this person may look like. So the fact that he goes through all these different characters with his brother, one that looks like Barbra Streisand.
That was a spot-on Barbra Streisand.
It was pretty good, not gonna lie. But then the first one, it kind of looked like a Latin guy in drag or
Yeah.
something. It's like, do you think this is gonna scare the kids? Because that's the last thing that I want to do. It's like with the nails and the makeup. And
I can't
everything.
remember what the boyfriend said.
Oh,
It was 'cause
Jack, I think.
I think I can't remember if Jack was his brother, and like Robbie was the boyfriend, but it was hysterical because I think they were doing the eye lift.
Frank. Harvey Fierstein, who plays his brother.
Yes.
His character's name was Frank. And I don't know if they were actually like married or if they were just.
I think I see. It's hard to tell, but I do know that when the kids find out that it is their dad, and they're like, "Who did this?" and he was like, "Uncle Frank and
Aunt Jack.
Aunt Jack." But when he's talking to his brother, or his brother says something about like the facelift where they're pulling back his eyes
Yes.
and everything, and he was like, "Oh," but Aunt Jack is like, "Oh, honey, with a 5 o'clock shadow at 8 a.m. and this is what you're worried
about the string?
Yeah, worried about the string.
Yeah, because he said, don't worry, the wig will cover up the string.
Yeah.
But the actual moment that I'm talking about is where he goes through all these different steps, and it's like a younger, probably middle-aged woman, and he's like, I think we need to go older. And his brother's like, older? And he's like, are we talking Shirley MacLaine or Shelley Winters? And he's like, what's the difference? He got some Scotch tape and a little bit of red hair dye. And he's like, what about Joan Collins? And he's like, oh, I don't know if I have the strength for that. Yeah. But I got some plaster. And to this day, like that scene, it cracks me up every single time. Because it's like, you're not expecting the second part of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't have the strength for that. Like, what do you even mean by that?
Yeah. I don't know. But what I did think was funny is kind of like right after that, and he does find the Mrs. Doubtfire look. It's not revealed to you because it's filmed at Robin Williams' back.
You see him like zipping up that skirt.
Yeah, so you can only see the backside of him. Mm-hmm. And when he's talking about it, he was like, I don't know. He was like, how does it look? Is it close? And he was like, any closer and you'd be mom.
Right. And he starts doing his little jig and everything like that. So what's a standout scene for you?
Oh, I think one of the standout scenes, I mean, that's a great scene. That is a great scene, that whole montage that they did. Another one that kind of stood out to me, and I totally forgot about it, was when, and I mean, I almost fell asleep at the part.
That's
but
how you know it's good.
Yeah, the educational guy that with the dinosaurs, and he's just like, oh yeah, you got the Tyrannosaurus Rex that comes in, and he was a meat eater.
God, which one is the dinosaur?
And you're just like,
I think it's the one in the middle.
But when Daniel starts having that conversation, he was like, what idiot kept this guy on the air for 25 years? And the president's like, I did. And he was like, oh, sorry. And he was just like, I mean, I was just trying to make it obvious. He's like, yeah, no, you're right. It sucks.
It's like, no, you're fine.
But he's like, I'm going to cancel the show. And I mean, I do like Daniel's kind of repertoire with him, because he tells him, like,
he's just being honest.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't think you should cancel the show, but I think you should definitely go in a different direction. Like, you can do something educational, but it could also be fun at the exact same time.
Yeah, because he's like, God, this guy was putting me to sleep when I was in school. He's like, I can't believe he's still on the air.
Yeah.
But like everything that he said in that moment, he's like, the guy was like laughing about. So it's like who the hell is this guy? Like, this guy's funny.
I do like also the kind of banter, I guess is what it would be, when Miranda is trying to move on after her divorce and start seeing Stuart, played by Pierce Brosnan.
Stu.
But I just think it's hysterical because, I mean, I forgot about like the little one-liner things. So it's like when they go to the pool and Stu's on the diving board, and he's like, wow, look at Stu. And he's like, oh yes, dear, that's what liposuction. It's
Yes.
just something so stupid. Where you're like,
dear, there's enough flesh around here to feast your eyes on.
yeah.
Yeah, he so many digs. And even at dinner, when he's talking to Stu, he, as Mrs. Doubtfire, is talking to Stu because Miranda had excused herself for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hope you've got the cocktail sauce, dear, because, she's got the crabs. Oh, my, I'm being quite crude, aren't I? And we're not talking Dungeness here.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good moments there. There is the one moment. So he gets hired at the studio where he's in charge of boxing up these movie reels and
you
having
see
them
those
shipped.
cans over there? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, wow, actual film. Am I going to be introducing these on camera? And he's like, not exactly. He's like, you're going to take those cans, you're going to box them, and then you're going to ship them. And then you're going to take these cans over here and you're going to box these and then ship these. And then more cans are going to come in and you're going to box those and ship those. Any questions?
Yeah. After I box them.
You ship them. Smart ass.
But it's like from the moment Daniel even gets there, this guy's got an attitude.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is this guy's fucking problem?
I know. And I mean, he goes there. So when he goes there, you know for a fact that I'm thinking that this guy's probably a little bit peeved that he has to hire someone, because it's like a court decision. Like even the social worker, when he goes to see the social worker, which that was funny, because you got the lady from Liar Liar.
Yeah, and this was not long before Liar Liar.
Yeah, and then she's talking to him and she was like, do you have any skills?
Well, yeah. I can do voices.
Do voices. What do you mean by do voices? But then there's this like huge montage of him doing a shit ton of voices,
which
that are all hysterical.
And I can tell. Well, I'm going out on a limb. Not that far though.
Yeah.
Because it's Robin Williams we're talking about. I can guarantee this whole scene was ad-libbed.
Oh yeah, it had to be. But her ability to not break character during all that. I mean, because any normal person would have been dying laughing.
Yeah.
And then, especially at the end when he was like, I also do an impression of a hot dog. And he just goes incredibly stiff and still. I mean, how do you not laugh at that? But then she's just like, very unamused.
Do you consider yourself a humorous man?
It's like, well, I always thought I did up until right now.
Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you for proving me wrong.
I did at one point find myself funny, but
But I am humbled before you.
right. And it's funny how it's like she looks exactly the same as she did in Liar Liar.
Yes.
Although I feel like she had a little bit more personality in Liar Liar than she did in this one.
Yeah, that she did. I mean, and I think it's mainly, I guess, just the part.
Right.
Because, she's supposed to be a social worker, and social workers, I mean, God bless them, because I guarantee that they hear so many stories where it's like, no, I mean, I really am trying to do this. I really am. And it's like being in the business that I'm in, you hear excuse after excuse after excuse, and you're just kind of like, okay, I don't care. Just get it done.
Everybody's been everybody's a victim. Everybody was dealt a bad hand. And it's like, you don't take responsibility for your own actions.
Yeah. And I mean, people are just like, oh, well, some people have it so lucky. Maybe 1% of the population got it lucky.
Yeah. I mean,
but, you have to sit there and look at it and go, yeah, okay, maybe 1% of the population got lucky. The other 99% that are successful worked for it.
Right.
So, I mean, there are probably times that someone a little bit more successful than I am, when I go to bed at night, is probably still up for a few hours working.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, nah. I mean, but I'm at an age now where I'm like, this is it. This is my life.
But in Daniel's situation, like, it wasn't like, okay, yes, the court made the decision. Yes, he has to have a stable home, a stable job, this kind of thing. But he had a job, but he quit because he felt that...
He had moral responsibility.
Yes, because he was doing voice acting
for a cartoon.
An animated studio, an animation studio, and during the recording, he decides to take the liberty, because it's a cartoon bird that gets fed a cigarette, is kind of like, this is my last wish before I die kind of thing. Which is supposed to be funny. And, and at that time, it was very common for cigarettes to be used in cartoons. Things
very
like that.
Common.
But he didn't like that. He thought it was sending the wrong message to children.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all the guys behind the recording booths are all
everybody's
got cigarettes.
Smoking.
Yeah. He's like, don't you guys think it's like irresponsible? You're basically telling the kids, here's a pack of cigarettes, go ahead and light up. And the guys in the studio are just like, what are we going to say about this?
Who gives a shit? Just
He's
read
like,
the lines.
When the bird's mouth isn't moving, you shouldn't be speaking.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's more like an inner dialogue kind of thing.
He's like, hey, maybe I'm God.
Yes. But I like how they made that the intro to the movie, because it starts out with a Figaro, 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 Figaro. And
see, I totally forgot how the movie started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was in the I think I was in the other room. I was brushing my teeth or something. And I hear that, and I'm like, I didn't know Robin Williams sang the intro to this song. So I walked out, and I'm like I'm watching it, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And it's funny because he's actually not a bad singer.
No,
I mean,
he's not a bad singer at all.
Granted, he was supposed to be funny, but I mean, he can carry a tune with the best of them. He could, I should say. Past tense.
Yeah, people should have bowed down before him.
Thank you.
The man was a genius.
Yes, he also had a drug problem at one point.
I think that's what made it even better.
Yes. All the great ones do, right?
Yep. You have to experience those problems. Look at our DJ.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I forgot that at the beginning of the movie, they were still living together. Like, they were still together. The divorce hadn't even been announced at this point.
Right.
And he had quit his job. He goes to pick up the kids from school, and then it's his son's birthday. He just turned 12 or whatever. He's like, makes the inappropriate joke, which is kind of ironic in my opinion, because you're so concerned about kids seeing a cartoon with a bird smoking a cigarette, but you ask,
I got a surprise for you.
You ask your 12-year-old son if he wants a stripper for his birthday party. You know?
Well, I don't think he asked him. I think he was like, "Yeah, I got a surprise for you," and the son's like, "A stripper?"
Oh,
And he
two
was like,
strippers?
He was like, no, I think it's something better than that. And he was like, 2 strippers?
Yeah, but the fact that
What
he
an
even knows
asshole.
what a stripper was.
Yeah.
But
Good job, Dad.
Yeah. I didn't realize, because his son is played by Matthew Lawrence.
Yes.
I didn't realize that he was born the same year as me.
Aha.
Yes. I thought that me and Joey were closer in age, but I guess I was wrong. Because I don't think there's much difference between him and Matthew. There was a big gap between them and the youngest. What was the youngest one?
I don't know. No one knows. I don't even think Matt and Joey know.
He's the one. But it's so weird how different he looks than the two of them.
Right.
Like, the two of them could pass for twins if they didn't have the age difference.
Yeah.
But the youngest one, he looks almost lizard-like.
I know. He does. It's weird.
I feel bad for him.
The
But yeah, he throws that gigantic birthday. So this is the weird thing.
Well, see, to go back to that one scene real quick,
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, because like I said, it had been a few decades since I had seen this movie. It's been a long time. And when he picks the kids up and the daughter, Libby, is like, she was like, I didn't think you were going to be able to pick us up. And he's like, oh, I got off early. And she's like, you got fired.
Like, no, I quit.
Bitch.
Right? Yeah, Lydia, I think, was her name. He called her Liddy.
Oh, that's right, Liddy.
But
Sorry, this one here I actually watched without the captions on.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I just turned it up real loud.
The first the first couple times I watched it, I don't think I used the captions, but I think it was that scene where I put on the captions because there was a part that I didn't hear him just right, and now it escapes me like what it was that I was hearing wrong.
Huh.
But maybe it'll come to me, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, and well, I mean, his surprise is like, here, I'm going to throw you this huge, extravagant party.
But
where
Mom
it's
says
just
you
like,
can't have a party.
Yeah, well, Mom's not going to be home for another
4 hours.
4 hours, so shut up.
Yeah, yeah. So you can just shut your face when you're talking to me. But what I found weird, first of all, the fact that they had all these animals, and the other thing was there were no parents.
I know, because that was the responsible thing to do. Is like, hey, I just walked out on my job, so you know what I'm going to do? Go and just get a bunch of animals.
Yeah,
That's going to cost probably a lot of money.
a lot of money. Yeah, he's got goats outside eating the begonias.
Yeah, ducks and God, didn't an elephant show up?
I don't think there was an elephant.
I
There was a pony, because at one point when Miranda does show up in the middle of everything, I was gonna have this all cleaned up, before you got home.
Yeah.
She reaches underneath the pony to unplug the stereo, and he's like, "Watch out, the pony's had a lot of water." He's like, "Hey, Miranda, yo, you're home early."
Yeah, that's when you kind of sit there and know for a fact. As a former husband and having 2 children, that is one of those looks where you know right away, like, oops, I'm in trouble.
But it's like, what are you so angry about? Are you angry that he threw a party? Are you angry that he had animals? Like, what exactly about the party were you so pissed off about? And that's what I don't understand.
I think from her standpoint, what it was I'm pissed off that you threw this huge, extravagant party, probably that, we don't have the money for. You did all this stuff, because I think she even says during the argument, she was like, you do stuff like this all the time where it's like there's this huge party and then I'm the one stuck cleaning up. And he's helping clean up as, a responsible person should be doing, but they're arguing the whole time. But then she was like, and then you go and one up me, like I'm just going to have a couple presents and a cake, and then he comes home to this. And it's just like, okay, that's just jealousy right there. I mean, come on.
And
like,
2,
you're just mad because
how many fucking planes are going to fly over while we're recording?
but then that's when you just sit there and you're like, you're just jealous is what I believe.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, you're just jealous because I thought of this awesome thing first.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't really deny that, and the fact that it's gotten to this point, they're constantly arguing, and I think the basis for most of the arguments, from what I gather, is the fact that he wants to raise the kids one way, she wants to raise them a different way.
Yeah.
And, that kind of hits home for me because I feel like that was the basis for my parents' divorce. Because my mom wanted to raise us one way. My dad, didn't agree, and I don't think that was even mentioned. I try to have separate conversations with them, individually to figure out from their perspective what the issue was. And, I feel like my mom just kind of got left in the dark because it wasn't her decision. I mean, she was absolutely devastated.
Yeah.
And to this day, like, I don't even really know. I don't know the actual reason. And I never wanted to press, and the older I've gotten, it's like, is it really relevant anymore?
Right.
The thing that I'm bummed about is that, like, my mom never found anyone, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, that does, because they always say, like, there's someone out there for everyone. But then, as looking at it, I mean, because I don't know what that's like. My dad, he was married before he married my mom. And my parents spent 40 plus years, 48, 49 years together before my mom passed away. And now my dad, being in his 70s and not attractive at all, like, he's accepted the fact. He's like, I'm just going to die alone. And and he was like, my dad we've had conversations about it, and he's like, I thought about moving on, and then he was like, but, I can't. And I'm like, 'cause you're ugly. So there's that.
I don't.
No, I don't talk like that to my father.
No. I've met your dad, and I feel like he is quite dapper.
Yeah.
Do people still use that word?
We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good word. I don't think your father is unattractive.
No, he's not. I mean, I joke around with him, and I used to joke around with my mom all the time because my mom used to tell me that my dad, she would be like, your dad is the only man for me. And I'm like, my father.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yes. And I'm like,
are you seeing the same?
Yeah. I was like, are you sure? And then she was like, yeah. And I'm like, you never really thought you could just have done better? And then she was like, no, your dad's the best. And I'm like, my father. She was like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? Really?
No, the bush is biggest. The bush.
So.
But, yeah, I mean, didn't mean to go on a tangent there. But, just the fact that they were arguing, and I guess for like 14 years plus.
And that kind of stuff really, you and I were talking off air before we started, and that kind of stuff really hit home for me. Like, I always remembered this being a comedy. But there were times, like I was telling you during this, I'm like, man, there were times I was kind of welling up a little bit because, yeah, I mean, I have two children from one woman, and our marriage did not work. And some of the stuff really kind of hit home with me, where it was like, me trying to be a good father to both of my kids, but at the same time being treated like, you're just a huge child. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I have my own place. There's food in the cupboard always. There's food in the fridge always. My kids have a bed always. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Right.
So, but there were times where it's, she didn't make me feel like I was doing good. She made me feel like you're just a miserable piece of shit, and I just allow you to see the kids because I have to. And so it's stuff like that. It's just kind of hit home for me a little bit, and it was hard. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. And I mean, I got to see some of that myself, from a third party perspective, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, but I look at it now, her and I, yes, we are divorced. We have been divorced for almost 10 years, but we're friends now, and we can be friendly with each other now and not have to worry about all that other bullshit that we used to do while we were married. Like, I mean, if we feel an argument coming on between us, it's just like, oh yeah, That's right. I don't have to talk to you.
We don't have to do this. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Later, fuckers.
Yeah, because guess what? I get to go home to someone else now, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. So to kind of change the subject on a lighter note,
Yes.
we're going to lose a lot of listeners by me saying this, so brace yourself. The girl that plays the youngest daughter,
Matilda?
I can't stand her. And
Well.
I don't know why they chose this specific person. And it seemed like back then, and even in like the 80s, they liked to use kids that had like a lisp, and I can't stand it. I like, it's hard to listen to, and I don't know if it's because I never had that problem as a kid. I'm pretty sure you didn't have that problem as a kid, but it's like, no, if you're going to be on screen, you have to speak clearly. And she had that Mrs. Doubtfire. Please let Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, why? Why not pick somebody else that talked normal?
Yeah, that I don't know. But I do know that, I mean, yeah, we probably did lose both of our listeners, and I quit.
Okay.
So, no, I mean, I think that girl came along in one of these movies where it's like, maybe Matilda was her first thing, or maybe it was Miracle on 34th Street. But I do know that, and I thought that this was kind of weird. I read about, but she did Matilda with Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, and I guess that she was like having problems at home, like with her parents and stuff. So Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman took her in.
Really?
Yeah, and I think raised her for a little while until
That's
everything
crazy.
at home smoothed over.
I did not know that at all. I just thought, and we had talked about this, maybe doing an episode, something for you all to look forward to, an episode where they made poor casting choices.
Yes.
So I feel like this would be a good candidate right there.
That is a good candidate.
So I don't know. Something about her just irked me. And
I mean, it was probably her voice. I mean, if I had to take a guess, it would probably be her voice. I mean, because she was a cute little girl when she wasn't talking. You'd be like, oh, yeah, look at that little girl. Like, oh, she's adorable. But then she starts talking, you're like, yeah, no, shut up.
so just stop.
Just shut up.
So the introduction of Stu, I guess this is a guy that Miranda had worked with previously, and
I couldn't tell the dynamic between them. I mean, I don't know if it was someone that they worked together previously. I mean, they definitely knew each other previously, but I don't know if it was work or pleasure. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't either, and not knowing exactly what it was that Miranda did for a living, I don't know how they
like she's
even
some type of interior designer. It looked like
that could be, or for commercial maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know if it was for residential homes or not, but
yeah, because he was there to look at like sketches and stuff and like wallpaper samples. And
but he had a
drapes.
different agenda, because as she's going through this gauntlet of different interior design choices,
This is very Victorian, and he was like, "God, you look great." And she's like, "Oh, well, we do have this fabric," and he was like, "How have you been?" "Oh, yeah, no, it's like we have this as well," and he was like,
so that's very nice of you to say, Stu, but what about these
dinner?
couches here, this specific upholstery?
Yeah.
It's like she keeps changing the subject back to work.
"How about dinner?"
And
On me.
Literally on me. But one thing that I have a tendency to do, it's just become a habit at this point, is when I watch movies like this, I want to know how old the actors were when the movie came out, because I try to compare it to like me now.
Okay. Did you happen to look it up?
Yes.
Okay. So did you look up Robin Williams?
Yes.
42.
He was. Yes, 42.
Fucking A. Sally Field.
Go on. Take a
30
gander.
37.
She was older.
Really?
She was older than him.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if he is 42, she's 44? 45? 48?
47.
47?
She was born in 46.
Holy shit snacks.
And,
okay, Pierce Brosnan.
Yep.
God, I swear he didn't look a day over 31 in that movie. He looked amazing.
His physique, yeah. He was in great shape.
Put him in the high 30s, like 38, 39.
When the movie came out, he was 40.
40.
And it's interesting because, and the reason what prompts me to look people up, not always, but one of the things is if they mention age, they usually find somebody who's close, but there's usually some variation.
Yeah.
And usually, like, the younger the casting, like if it's high school age, in a lot of cases, the actors are actually in their 20s. They just happen to look young.
Right.
But when they get to that, like, middle age range, you know, they usually there's a little bit more room to play, I guess. But the fact that he's actually playing somebody the same age as his character, I you know, or his actual age at the time, I should say.
Oh, yeah, because there's that one scene
odd.
at the pool. Didn't he say he was like, I'm 40?
He's like, I'm turning 40, about to turn 40. Yeah, he's like, you know, like, time to settle down.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Doubtfire's sitting there at the bar the entire time, you know, drinking her beer. And but like when the blonde comes up to the bar and he offers to pay for her drink, and she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, because he's like looking her up and down like, hey, baby, how you doing? Everything looks like it's in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I like it.
Yep.
Put her on my tab. And she's like, no, that's okay.
I'm good.
That's okay, Granny. I don't need this.
And this, you know, I think...
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
I think this moment here is one of the standout scenes for a lot of people who've seen Mrs. Doubtfire, is when, you know, Stu goes to the bar so he can get 4 iced teas for him and the kids and everything.
Yeah.
And as he's walking back to the pool,
well, that's because
Mrs. Doubtfire throws the lime at the back of his head.
Yeah, because he's having the conversation with that guy, and he was like, "Hey, who are you here with?" And he was like, "Miranda Hillard."
He says her name weird. It's like Hillard.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Miranda Hillard." He was like, "Well, who are the Rugrats?" And he was like, "Oh, they're her children." And he was like, "Oh, you're the guy that never wanted kids, didn't want to be around kids. You don't even want to date anybody with kids." And I mean, he does come off as genuine, like, well, you know, I mean, shit, I got to grow up, dude. Like, I'm 40, man. I'm about to be 40. Like, I need this stability in my life.
Right.
And then he was like, and God knows the kids need a stable father figure. And he was like, oh, what about the real dad? And he was like, he's a loser. So that's why he gets pelted with a lime.
Right.
And then she was like, oh, I saw the whole thing. It's like there was a disgruntled waiter in the back or
did you
servant.
Not tip the wait staff, dear?
Yeah. He's like, I saw the whole thing. It was a run by fruity.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry. I'll track him down and find him for you.
When he meets Stu for the first time, you know, he gets to the house as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
And he sees the Mercedes parked out front.
Oh,
and he
Mr. Loverboy's here, huh?
takes the liberty of removing the hood ornament.
Yes.
And he hands it to Stu as he comes in.
He's like, oh, I found this outside. Does that belong to you?
He's like, oh, yes, this is from my Mercedes.
Oh, that big, expensive car is yours.
It's like, you know what they say about people that drive big, expensive cars?
Usually compensating for something in the, genitals or whatever.
Yes. I mean, God, could you make it more awkward?
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole time, like, she's trying to, like, Miranda is trying to find advice from Mrs. Doubtfire. And the whole time, it's like, I can kind of see Daniel's perspective on it, where he's like, I don't want this woman to move on. Like, I still have hope for our marriage. When everybody on the outside is like, there's no hope. There's no way that you're going to get back together with mom. Like, give it up.
So him posing as Mrs. Doubtfire he's trying to accomplish two things.
Yes.
One, he's trying to spend as much time with his kids as possible.
Admirable.
And two, he's trying to make Miranda see that moving on is not in her best interest.
Yeah. And I do like when she was like, Mrs. Doubtfire, can I ask you a personal question? There are numerous times during the movie where I was like, oh, any minute now she's going to be like, I don't see how this is any of your business, Mrs. Doubtfire, so why don't you just butt out?
She never did.
No, she never did. And for some reason, when I was a kid, I thought she did. Mm-hmm. I thought that there was at least one scene where she was like, why don't you just let me live my life? Okay?
Even when they introduce, or Mrs. Doubtfire is introduced to the kids for the first time, she even chimes in, oh, I don't think it's really appropriate for you to argue with your mother in front of a stranger, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking up her accent here.
Yeah, all of
But
a sudden she's from Ireland,
I
everybody.
don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Oh,
Jeez, oh
just
gracious.
just a little whipply-doo.
But that's neither here nor there. But it's, speaking of the accent, though, when she meets Stu for the first time, he questions him, whatever,
Yeah.
on the accent. He's like, your accent's a bit muddled. He's like, where
Just like your
exactly from the UK are you from?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, here and there, dear.
Yeah. He was like, oh, because your accent's so muddled. And he's like, so is your tan.
Every chance that he got.
Oh, what a dick. But then he does end up saving his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he tries to kill him. No, I mean, he didn't want to kill him, but that scene was funny because, you know, he's hammered, obviously, because he has a business meeting, but he also has this dinner that he has to go to for Miranda's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to meet his boss at the same restaurant. So, you know, he sees his boss, downs his scotch, and he's like, I got to go take a piss. And, you know, goes to the bathroom, but he changes and then comes back as Mrs. Doubtfire and drinking wine, and then his teeth fall out, and he was like, oh, I got to go take care of this.
So
goes
much
back
happens.
to the bathroom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Goes back as Jack or as Daniel, and he sits down, and he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, man, that's scotch. And he was like, are you?
Daniel, are you wearing women's perfume?
Like, why I am.
Are you wearing women's lipstick?
I am.
Why?
Rubbed off. I was like, rubbed off of what? And he was like, I was dating a waitress here. You know, was walking back to the bathroom. She grabbed me.
Girl I used to
just
date.
in
Yeah,
there, yeah.
works here. He's like, yeah, she couldn't keep her hands off of me.
Yep.
He's like, well, does your girlfriend? I've got the stretch limo here.
Yeah.
Does your friend have a girlfriend?
I don't know. It is the 90s.
He's like, no.
Does she have a
Does
lady
she have a
friend?
friend for me?
I'll ask.
Yeah, go find out. Go find out. And it's like this is not how you would expect a business meeting to go.
No.
First of all, Daniel shows up late, and clearly the guy, and his name escapes me, he's very tolerant, very patient about
Yes.
the thing. And maybe it's just because he sees the potential in Daniel.
I think that's how I took it, was that he saw potential in this, because he did do there's just the part where the set's closed down, all the dinosaurs are on the table, and Daniel's doing his job, but when he walks by, he sees all the toys, and he just goes in there to play.
Now, I want to say that they had dinner scheduled, like the family, at the same exact time as his business meeting.
Yeah, because what happens is that the president walks in and sees him playing with the toys. He thinks it's funny, but also educational. And he was like, you got a real talent for this. He was like, how about we talk more about your ideas? And he was like, this Friday, 7:00 at Bridges. And he was like, yeah, sure. I'll be there. And then as Mrs. Doubtfire, it's Miranda's birthday coming up, and she's looking at dresses, and both daughters are like, no, I like that one. I like that one. He was like, she's like, I just can't make up my mind. So then she was like, oh, Mrs. Doubtfire, maybe I can get your opinion. He's like, which dress? And she's like, oh, what is this for? And she was like, it's my birthday coming up, and Stu's taking me out, and I just want to look nice. And he's like, neither. Neither. He's like, red is just the color of harlots. He was like, and then the black one is way too short. He's like, you want to play hard to get, not the gates are open. So he's like, let's see what else we have. And he pulls out like this one dress, and she was like, I wore that to my aunt's funeral in 1976. And he was like, well, then it seems like it's time to bring it back. It's just like, but then she was like, I think I'm going to go with the short black dress. And then she's like, fine, don't pay attention to me. Ask for my opinion, and you just don't pay attention. And then she was like, oh, well, you'll be there to protect me because Stu wants us all to go out to dinner. And then he was like, oh, and then she was like, when? And she was like, Friday at 7 at Bridges. And he was like, I can't. And he's like, oh, yes, no, it's bingo night. And she's like, well, then cancel. And he's like, oh, no, I can't because I'm the ball picker this time. And it's like, very important job.
But imagine how differently it would have gone if he didn't have to show up as Mrs. Doubtfire to that dinner.
Right.
Like, how would things have played out differently?
Yeah. And I mean, in all honesty, it's Miranda, I think, I don't know, to me, she's very selfish. Now, maybe she had every right to be selfish, though, because for 14 years, she's been the one picking up, cleaning up, doing all this other stuff. Now she's hired someone basically to take care of that for her. And she's like, I want to live my life a little bit and go out and have fun and do whatever. But at the same time, it's like, Daniel probably could have stepped up and just been like, hey, I have this incredible job opportunity. The president of the company at the studio I work for wants to sit down and talk to me about ideas and everything. So, and then, Miranda could have taken the whole, I can't be there Friday night that Mrs. Doubtfire's laying on. Like, I'm sorry, I can't be there Friday night. She could have been like, it's such a shame. I mean, you'll be missed, but we'll tell you all about it. And instead of being so pushy, but it does make for good entertainment because, he hears when he's coming out of the bathroom or something and he hears after he's changed into Mrs. Doubtfire again. And they're like, yeah, I need the order for table 39. He's like, yeah, I'm getting it ready right now. So he dresses up as a waitstaff and walks through the kitchen, but puts all that cayenne pepper on Stu's plate.
Dumps a shit ton of cayenne on this shrimp.
So then he goes out and he goes and sits back down with the president because he's like, he totally forgets. And he's like, yeah, sorry about that. He's like, oh, that's scotch. I had to piss like a racehorse.
He's like, I took the liberty of ordering you another scotch. And he's like, oh, bully.
Yeah. But it's funny because when he sits down again, he's dressed as Mrs.
Doubtfire. Yeah.
And he's like, Daniel? And he's like, yeah.
No, he doesn't know who it is at first.
He was like, can I help you? And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, no, sorry, all that scotch. I had to piss like a racehorse. And he was like, Daniel? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
because he doesn't realize that he's Mrs. Doubtfire because he's been drinking, tossing back these scotches.
And he's just sitting there and he's like, why the hell are you dressed like a woman?
And he's like, damn. But then he
wrong table
comes up with a great idea. He's like, well, I'd like to introduce you to the host of your new show.
Yep. He's like, the host of my new show.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Euphegenia Doubtfire here.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, tell you the truth, that's a good idea. And I actually commended that. Even when I saw it the first time back in the 90s, I'm like, man, that's a good idea. Like, they always say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Yes.
So, bam, here's the new host of your new TV show. I wanted to introduce you to her personally.
Yeah.
Like, bam. Honestly, tell you the truth, I would have given him the job on the spot.
It was a genius move.
Yeah, I would have been like, bam, here we go.
And I like how
total game changer, people.
I like how he responds because he asks him. He's like, "Well, why would this be a good host for my show?" And it's like,
yeah, I may be an old woman, but I can hip hop. I can dance till I drop, and then I can yo make a wicked cup of cocoa.
Yeah, but then, Stu, he's back at the table, and they all decide, well, we're gonna go ahead and start eating. So he takes a bite. Starts choking on the shrimp because it's far too hot.
Yeah, because as they're ordering, Mrs. Doubtfire is still sitting at the family table at the time,
Yeah.
and Stu does mention when he's ordering the jambalaya or whatever it was that he's like, with no pepper. He's like, I'm allergic to pepper, and so this is where Daniel gets the idea, like, to put all that cayenne on it. And it's funny because when he starts choking on the shrimp, and he looks over at the other table and he sees it, he's like, "Oh my God, I killed the guy."
Yeah. But she sees Mrs. Doubtfire. She's like, Mrs. Doubtfire. Because on her resume, she was like, oh, you're CPR certified and like
Heimlich maneuver, yeah.
But then, so he goes and gets it, like gives him the Heimlich. But I do like, because the whole time, like the kids are kind of seeing like, oh no, his glasses are coming off. The wig looks like it's messing up a little bit.
And as he falls, because the both of them fall backwards, and as they land on the ground, that's what pops the shrimp out of his mouth, and it lands on the table, which is always funny.
Yeah,
you know,
I do like that. I think at one point, and I think it's not a misheard line, but an underrated line that, you know, I love those types of things.
Of course,
is when he's doing the Heimlich, he was like, "Come on, don't fight me." He's like, "Work with me."
One thing that I noticed right after this scene, so he gets up, and the big reveal happens, and everybody's getting ready to leave the restaurant. Miranda has her little, her Sybil moment.
Yeah.
We'll call it Sybil because she's going through all these emotions in her head. She's like, "You mean to tell me the whole time? Like, not the whole time, the whole time, the whole time?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "We have to go. I have to leave. We have to go. We have to go." Like, and it's like, oh my God, calm the fuck down. Holy shit.
Just sit and talk about this.
Let's take a breath. But he shakes Stu's hand and says, "Sorry about the pepper."
Yeah.
But it's like, how does he know about the pepper? He didn't question that
at
all?
I think it's just one of those things where it's like, it's been a rough night for everyone.
Like,
let's just move on.
Because how did he even know that Pepper was involved? Yeah. As Mrs. Doubtfire would not have known that Pepper caused him to choke on the shrimp.
Right.
Now, I know we're pretty much at the time that we like to call it quits, but I did want to bring up the scene where his son walks in on him in the bathroom.
Oh, that was funny. We gotta call the cops.
She's like, he's a she, she's a he, he's a she.
Yeah. But I do like when she has the tennis racket and he was just like, he's like, hit him in the balls, and he was like, and then she was like,
he's got balls?
He's like,
oh, he's got everything.
He's got everything.
It made for such a great way for the kids to find out that it's actually their dad.
I do like that when he tells him, he's like, it's me, it's Dad. And everything, he was like, this is the only way I was able to see you guys, like every day, which is what he wanted. That's what the kids wanted too. But then he tells him, he was like, you can't tell Maddie though. She'll blow my cover.
What does, and I can't remember Matthew's name in the
Christopher.
Okay, so he swears, and I can't remember exactly what he says. Something shit, but then
he says shit,
and then Mrs. Doubtfire says, like, "Watch your mouth, young man," and that's when it's like, Dad? Dad. But Lydia, she can accept it.
Yeah,
he gives him a hug, and then
he's like, "Come here." Well, don't look at me like I'm freaking Frankenstein.
He's like, "No, I get it. It's just I don't want to."
Yeah, it's too much too soon.
I don't get it. You don't actually like wearing that stuff, do you? He's like, "Well, actually, it's not that bad." "No, what are you kidding me? And now I hate this." But it was the only way that I could see you guys. He's like, but they did have to come to the agreement that they could not tell the youngest.
Yeah, Maddie. He's like, because she'll blow my cover.
Oh.
I like the way he said it.
Immediately.
I like the way he said it, too. She'll blow my cover.
Another scene worth mentioning, and this part kind of bothers me because with as good as Robin Williams is as improvising, and I don't know if this was an improvised scene or what, but when they first start the initial, okay, he's got partial custody, or he just gets them the one night a week, and they're sitting down eating dinner at the table and everything. She pulls up and honks. Like, how rude is that, first of all?
Yeah, that was kind of a bitch thing to do.
Like, come upstairs and pick them up like a human being.
I didn't like her attitude either. I mean, she shows up, it's dark outside, and then she was like, I still have to go to the bank. And it's like, bitch, you ain't going to the bank.
The bank is closed.
The bank is closed. Like, and he only gets them on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no bank open on Saturday, I can tell you that.
And even if they're closed at like 12 or 1 o'clock, something like that.
Exactly. So I don't want to hear any of this, like, I had to go to the bank. But I do like Daniel's tirade because he was like, no, you're an hour early. You were an hour late dropping them off. So, but then it's like, look at her and just go, how about you just go and take care of your stuff, and I'll bring the kids home in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Solves everything.
You're so GD busy, you know?
We're his goddamn kids, too.
It's like, that's real nice, Daniel.
Yeah.
It's like, any other choice phrases that you're teaching our kids? But when she goes inside and she sees there's still boxes everywhere, the house is like in complete disarray, and she's like, wow. And he stands up. He's like, "Yo, yeah, I was going for this whole like nomad motif, kind of thing, refugee motif. You know, just thing. I just settled down here, and then I never know where I'm gonna go." He's like, "But look at you." He's like, "You got this like Native American motif going.
Dances
like, what's
with
your name?
wolves.
What's your name? Like, shouts with a fist."
Yeah.
But it's like the repeated use of the word motif. Like, I figured he could have used something else there.
Yeah.
So that I never noticed that before, and like until watching it again now to
Right.
prepare for this. But I don't know, like if you're gonna insult somebody, you know, you got to switch it up.
Yeah.
Keep them on their toes.
Yep.
You know. But for the sake of time, did you have anything like honorable mentions or?
No, I mean nothing really. I mean, there are parts of this movie that are hysterical. There are parts that they're going to pull at the heartstrings a little bit. But, I mean, all in all, it's a solid movie. I think, and this is one that stands the test of time.
Yeah. And like we mentioned before, like it's not really as ha-ha funny as like what I remember being younger. But it's definitely emotional. Like, it's something that I think a lot of people can connect to. So it's just a good, entertaining movie,
right?
All in all, from beginning to end. So definitely a good one to talk about. You know, even if it wasn't like the funniest episode we've ever done, I feel like there are still a lot of memorable moments to discuss, and I thoroughly enjoyed it for sure.
And as did I.
All right, good deal. Well, I guess without further ado. You know what that means.
Yep.
Cue the music, motherfuckers! Until next time.
The Quotable Podcast.
You goddamn right.
Out. Oh, my first day as a woman, and I'm already getting hot flashes.